Welcome to the Virtual Music City. I am Emerson Arden, and I have my good friend and colleague Reese Schaefer alongside myself in the virtual booth this evening. And we're excited to be bringing you live coverage of the penultimate race of the Speed Racing Network Z-Grill's 5th season. Here at the virtual Nashville Super Speedway on the iRacing.com motorsport simulations platform. And Reese, tonight we still have 9 drivers still competing for the final 4 slots available in that Championship 5. It is Tyler Justice all by his lonesome right now, ready to go at Homestead before more drivers will join him by the end of the night. And tonight it is quite the unique mile and a third trial that hosts, to this point of the season, the most important race yet. Reese, you just ran that race last night, dominated last night, led 98 of 110 laps. You got a lot of experience here. Now, I know the Z-Grill Series cars are much different than the trucks. What can we expect?
Yeah, Emerson, like you said, probably the most unique track on the calendar to this point, and probably going to be the entire season. This mile and a half being concrete and being a somewhat very tricky track to get a good rhythm in and get a good handle for. I mean, all 4 corners are as unique as they come. Coming into turn 1, you need to be hard on the brakes, really try to use the banking to really get you down towards that yellow line, and then turn 2 you can really let it loose, get the car wide open, but gotta be careful because if you go too low or too high it will get squirrely. And then turn 3 is a very long wide corner, really need a late apex, and then the infamous middle of 3 and 4 bump potholes kind of thing is always there at Emerson, and some guys you'll see use that to their advantage to turn the car, while other guys will try to avoid it completely and try to use the banking and get around that area of the track. And then the turn 4 wall, Emerson, as we've seen the past 2 nights, claims a lot of victims. So hopefully we don't see too many lives claimed by the turn 4 wall tonight, but as these cars wear on these tires, I would expect we'll see a couple drivers pin off that turn 4 wall.
Absolutely. And just want to announce that tonight we will be releasing the Season 6 Speed Racing Network Cup Series schedule tonight. The plan is for the first caution following the conclusion of Stage 1. Should we not get a caution, we will drop the schedule before we go off the air this evening, so you will want to stick around for that. Before we get into too much, Reese, let's go ahead and take a look at the point standings we're talking about tonight. Here they are, up on your screen. It really is something. All by himself, Tyler Justice locked into Homestead. Now, Gabriel Ellison, given tonight's field size, Reese, of only, what are we at, 14 drivers? Gabriel Ellison, not that he's locked in, but it's going to be very hard for him to fall out tonight, especially if Ellison gets anything more than 4 stage points. Ellison will be A-okay. Seth actually has a pretty good cushion in, relativity to the rest of his championship competition. Seth has 8 points to good. As long as he gets some stage points, he should be A-okay tonight as well. So we're really looking at David Robertson onward, Reese. And unfortunately, Adrian Schumacher, especially with the field size tonight, Adrian Schumacher is in a must-win scenario. But Robertson to Ryan Shield, Reese, only 5 points separate 4th through 9th in the standings.
Yeah, and Emerson is going to be anyone's game tonight. As we know, Montgomery and Powell are some of the names that are outside that cut line that we've been talking about all season as fast guys. I mean, Montgomery, I'm not sure how many wins he's had, but I mean, it's been plentiful. And then you got guys like Logan Truex, Scotty Reinschild, who also have been up front and had some good races this season. So, I mean, this track being one of the most unique on the entire calendar, Emerson, it's really going to be anybody's game, and we're really going to see it. The driver's skills and full potential on display tonight.
Absolutely, and it is absolutely crazy just how tight it is. Let's talk about it, Reese. From 3rd to 9th in the standings is separated by, is that 9 points? I mean, this is nuts. Or am I doing the math wrong? Is that 11?
I
think 11. But
11, I believe.
Still,
11, yeah.
It's crazy just how close everything is here. Seth is really gonna be on it. Oh, I think his points to the cut is a little. Yeah, it should be 6. So yeah, that does make sense. It's about So actually 9 points.
9 points is right. Yeah.
Seth and Ryan Shield.
Still though, way too close. Way too close
yes.
for all these drivers. Yeah, it's gonna be right on the window for all these guys. I you know, the stage here, Emerson, being here, I believe it's what, lap 35.
35, the same as last night.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. We're gonna see drivers really aggressive here on this first 35 laps because those 10 stage points that you can get for winning the stage are so crucial. And if you're guys like Logan Crew at Montgomery and you get 10 points on the jump on the first half of the race, it can really propel you for the rest of this race either this evening.
Absolutely, and I believe we're going to visit this graphic tonight. Now, Jonathan Byer is in attendance tonight. Following the race, we should be able to stall long enough for Jonathan Byer to get our final points highlighted to you tonight. So we will not. I'm not going to promise that, but we should not be going off the air tonight without knowing who is in the Championship 5 this evening. Because JB is in attendance tonight, we should be able to get final points tonight for VZ Grill boys. But we will revisit this. This will be the talk of the town tonight for sure, Reese. But before we get into too much tonight, it's time to go through our starting lineup this evening. And here it is up on your screen. Here we go. The front row, then, the 6 of Tyler Justice. He'll have the 81 of Max Service, who is outside. That's something for Max to be on the cut line coming into today's race. Starting in second, that's going to do him some wonders. Adrian Schumacher in a must-win situation, Reese. He starts third. Logan Truitt starting fourth there, below the cut line. Needs to have a good run today. Dustin Montgomery below the cut line there at fifth. How about Vincent Cortez? Trying to play a little playoff spoiler tonight. He starts sixth. And Gabriel Ellison, probably the one driver who's not locked in, who probably feels most confident tonight, is Ellison starting seventh. Reese, go eighth through the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting P8 tonight, Emerson, we got Scott Kalal. And then P9, Emerson, another guy outside that cut line, Sean Powell, who we know is usually pretty quick at the start of these races, so I wonder see if he can work his way through the field. David Robinson's in P10, Scotty Wrench, another one of those playoff guys right there on the bubble, and then P11, then in P12, Emerson, Seth Berger, who had that comfort, but started in P12. Got me a little bit nervous for Seth.
Boy.
Definitely gonna need to make some hay here in the first 35 laps, get some stage points, because if he doesn't, I mean, his competitors behind him will jump him. And then P13, Emerson, we got Nathan Del Rosa, and P14, we have Jonathan Byer.
So that is how these 14 drivers will do battle this evening. Not too much time left to go here, but double wide and get ready to do battle here from the Music City. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in and joining us this evening. And oh no, Gabriel Ellison has towed off the racetrack. And so something I missed with Scotty Ryan Shield as well. What is going on? Oh my goodness, there's 4 drivers not on the racetrack right now as we get ready to race this evening. I guess we're gonna go as normal, and we will not. We will be adding a pace lap. There's some mass confusion going on right now. We have 4 drivers who have lagged out of the lobby, and so there's only 10 drivers on the track right now.
I believe actually I am one of them too. I have also lagged out, so I think
my goodness.
I think iRacing is having issues because a lot of drivers here tonight have already lagged out, and I wonder, we might have to, let's see what JB and the guys want to do. We might have to restart the session, or we might have to give some people some laps back. I'm not sure what we're gonna have to do here. Yeah,
absolutely. So very, very confusing and interesting time we're at right now. We have not started this race this evening. It says 0th caution on the scoring ticker because we have not had a caution yet. The race has not started. I repeat, the race has not started. Max Service, Tyler Justice is the front row, and we are just awaiting to see now what the next course of action is. Drivers who have lagged out this evening: Sean Powell, Scotty Ryan Shield, Gabriel Ellison, and Nathan De La Rosa. And the pace car is staying on the racetrack, so we are going to be running a few pace laps here to try to see if we can get this field back into the lobby. And this throws a huge wrench into the plans, Reese. This is abnormal, to say the least. Not many times will league races have this happen. Let's talk about timing. The race hasn't started yet. Like, there's still a chance to try to fix this.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember early in the season, Emerson, actually in in our series on Wednesday on Rockingham, we had a similar incident where 3 or 4 guys got kicked out near the end of the race, which I was unfortunately one of them, and so really, put a damper on my whole night because I just had a good race going, and all of a sudden there's nothing you can do for iRacing. So, and we've seen this. I remember back in maybe it was season 3 when there was a build week at Darlington in one of the truck series, another similar situation where a bunch of guys lagged out and figured it out. So I think I'm getting word, Emerson, from Race Control, what they're going to do is they are going to let the pace car go in here and go green, and then they are going to call a caution instantly and let everybody in the pits get out and get on the track, and then they're going to give everybody their laps back, and we will reorder and reset. And so we'll probably have, as you can see on the scoring ticker, 3 of 140, we'll probably have about 10 last laps.
I think it'll reset here. We'll see.
Reset?
Here.
Okay.
I believe so. So we'll see. As the iRacing.com safety vehicle is into the safety pit lane, we're going to get a green flag briefly, and then the caution is going to be thrown once again. And there's the caution right away. So yeah, the lap count does reset now.
Yeah, but we will now be taking off laps, and so I'm not sure. Looks like Sean Powell and guys are going to be coming out of pit road here, and so
that's huge. Good thing that Sean Powell's back in this race. Scotty Ryan Shield, Gabriel Ellison, one of those drivers again tonight. Was coming in sitting pretty above the cut line. Now he almost saw that whole scenario turn upside down. Now the one thing is, I hope, because tire sets are limited, Reese, and can be very important should cautions fall timely, that some of these drivers, hopefully they did not take tires once they loaded back in.
Unfortunately they did, because Gabriel Ellison just mic'd up and said that he did lose a tire set, and so
oh my goodness.
I think Emerson, I'm getting word we are going to get a new session, and so we might need a pause or a commercial break.
Yeah,
I think everybody's going to be pulling off here, and we'll be getting a new session here momentarily.
And so that is true. Yep. If that hasn't showed you that we're getting a new session, there it is. So we will be trying this again. Once again, I want to thank you all so much for sticking with us here at Speed Racing Network. A very unusual circumstance, technical difficulties in this technology world. Overcoming the penultimate race of the season here from Nashville. We're going to take a step aside. We're going to try this bad boy once again. Just give us a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're going to hear a message from Butt Kicker. We're going to talk about the YouTube membership and all that jazz is coming up. Don't go anywhere. Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual music city. We are here after technical difficulties have restarted our session here. We did not take the green flag officially in the last session. While we did, in theory, actually take the green flag, we are going to reset back to lap 1. No actual racing has happened. No scoring has changed. We're going to be going back to the exact same starting lineup we talked about before we left that last session, before we even got ready to race last time out. But while we're in this holding pattern, the admins are trying to get everyone back, herded back into their spots, everyone back into this brief warm-up session as everyone gets reset and ready to go once again. We did promise a cup schedule drop tonight, and while we have this extra moment, Reese, we're gonna go ahead and make the executive decision to move it on up, and let's go ahead and take a look at next season's Cup Series schedule. So here it is up on your screen. Yep.
I would say we got, including duels, we have 19 races, 18 main races total. And Emerson, I'm not gonna lie, looking through this bad boy, it looks pretty nice.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun here, right? We got, most of this follows the real Cup schedule, which is great. You'll have the opportunity to practice then during the week in the official series, which I think helps. The changes of obviously Chicagoland and Pocono at the beginning of the schedule, those are not obviously in that place. Chicagoland not even on the current NASCAR schedule, so glad to see it make a return. So we start the season with Daytona, and you carry on to the real Cup schedule. Atlanta, Vegas, Bristol, Coda. Glad to see Coda back. Richmond, Michigan. Michigan's a little early. Texas there, Dega, Dover, Kansas. But the important thing here, Reese, a 5-race playoff with 2 races around Darlington, Homestead, Charlotte, Iowa, and tonight, Nashville Superspeedway would be the season finale.
Yeah, I like how there's only 5 races now. It's definitely going to make the competition a little tighter, definitely more interesting. I'm really curious to see too, with Darlington and Homestead being tracks that are definitely really difficult and really all about skill purpose. So that first round is really going to be tough. And then we go to a couple tracks where honestly they're driver favorites. Everybody likes to race at Charlotte, and then Iowa, probably one of the best short tracks on the entire iRacing NASCAR calendar and schedule. And then of course, we talked about it earlier, Emerson, Nashville being one of the most unique tracks in all of the service and all of racing period, to be honest, with its concrete and all 4 corners being super unique and difficult. I think the playoffs are going to be really, really interesting, really exciting, and I really can't wait for next season.
Absolutely, and if you are watching the broadcast, you may have heard cars are rolling, and yes, that is true. We're going to transition back to the sim here, Reese. As cars are rolling, we are getting ready to do battle once again here in Nashville. We have added a pace lap. The field is getting back into their starting order, and it's time to do racing once again here, Reese. It's been a little bit. We had a little bit of a delay. We're starting about, let's call it 15 minutes later than normal, but here we go. It's Tyler Justice, Max Service, Adrian Schumacher, Logan Truitt, Dustin Montgomery, Vincent Cortez, Ellison, Kalal, Robertson, Powell, Ryan Shielberger, De La Rosa, and Bayer. If I have to put you on the spot, Reese, who you picking?
Man, Emerson, I think I'm going to go with the safe bet tonight. The guy that's on pole, the guy that has won 5 of the last 6 races, the guy that seems almost untouchable, Tyler Justice.
Tyler Justice, probably a good pick there, Reese. I think Dustin Montgomery is a driver that gets it done tonight. He's below the cut line coming into today's race. He's down in 5th. He hasn't won since earlier in the season. He's got 4 wins under his belt. It's time for win number 5 for Dustin Montgomery. And so as the iRacing.com safety vehicle pits down into the safety of pit lane, we're gonna try this again, and racing will finally commence here from Nashville. So side by side for the top spot as Max Service leading across the stripe here at Nashville. Tyler Justice fighting hard on the inside. Side by side up off the corner, Adrian Schumacher filing in line there in third, and Service trying to get cleared by Tyler Justice, and he does. So Justice filing in line behind the 81 machine now. Tyler Justice is known for taking it early, easy here in the early going, Grease, and really coming to life later in the stage. But in the early going, Max Service, who's 1 point above the cut line coming into tonight's race, gets a lap led.
Yeah, absolutely. And Emerson, we're talking about Adrian Schumacher, a must win here tonight.
Yep.
Gets that good power coming off the corner, and he's going to clear Justice up to P2 for Adrian Schumacher.
So how about this? The driver 1 point above the cut line, and the driver in a must-win situation. Reese, they are 1-2, but don't look too soon. One of those drivers below the cut line coming into today's race is Dustin Montgomery, and he is sat fourth.
Yeah, Montgomery already making up a couple spots here early, Emerson, on the restart. We know he's been really one of the best cars all season, and he's going to be making really good push early here. We'll definitely check in on him throughout this race.
So everybody's starting to file in line. Truett sat fifth, Powell, Ellison, Robertson, and Reinshield. It's really getting tight back here. Reinshield and Vincent Cortez trying to play a little playoff spoiler back here in the 23 machine. That pit stop TV mobile. And right now, sat in that 10th position. He files in line. And the whole field now running single file except Seth Berger trying to make a comeback here from the back of the field here, Reese, and he needs to.
Yeah, Seth being 8 above the cut line, Emerson, but with his first stage coming here on lap 35, he's definitely going to have to make up some spots here and get some stage points to keep even with his rest of his playoff competitors. And so we see Seth Berger getting a good power through 3 and 4. He's going to pass Scott Kowal for P11.
Up to 11 for Seth Berger. Nathan De La Rosa, he goes ahead and pounds the wall down there in that 13th position. Back up front, it's Tyler Justice, Dustin Montgomery sat 3rd and 4th, trying to chase down the Tank Racing duo of Service and Adrian Schumacher. And here we go, Reese. These are two drivers. They both have 1 win apiece on the season. Max Service, the 1 win at Indianapolis, where he fought tooth and nail with Tyler Justice till Justice ran out of fuel out of the final corner, and Service, he was up front a lot of the time at Indianapolis. He took the lead back and got it done then. Adrian Schumacher, on the other hand, was very dominant at Road America, but made a couple of, I don't want to say careless, but not usual mistakes we see out of Adrian Schumacher at a road course. And you knew that was sticking him the rest of the season, as he wanted to really stick it to the field and show that he is the road ringer of the series. He did get it done at Watkins Glen, and is the only driver not named Tyler Justice to win in the playoffs. And so Max Service and Adrian Schumacher here being 1 and 2. Very intriguing duo. Both of these drivers with 1 win apiece, being the rare non-Phase 2 chassis work drivers to win this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've looked further back, Emerson. I think Montgomery is making his way past Tyler Justice as
Yeah,
he
he has.
Yes, he has. So your pick, Emerson, is on the move. Up to P3 now on lap 8. And Justice, taking his time. Starting from that pole position, calling P4, but he's only about a second behind the leaders. So, and as we know, that stage caution, you can always reset and reload if you're not feeling really confident in the first half of this race. We'll have to see what Justice plans here moving forward.
Yeah, of course, very minimal adjustments you can make, but driving adjustments are a thing we don't really talk about here, Reese, that are definitely could be made. You can drive one way here in the first stage, realize if it works or if it doesn't work, and then take a whole different approach as Logan Truett pounds the wall down from 5th.
Yeah, Emerson, I talked about it early in the pre-race. That turn 4 wall claims victims here at Nashville, and we have already seen 2 drivers in the first 10 laps hit that thing. These cars get super tight behind one another, and now Sean Powell is looking on the back bumper, going to be looking to the inside, potentially on Logan Truett. Not this time, but Truett just got to be careful. These new cars got a damage model update recently, Emerson, so I believe it's not too significant as it once was, but any damage is never good. So Truett's definitely going to have to defend hard on Sean Powell here for P number 5.
Absolutely. The other one driver who is not part of that Phase 2 chassis work squad who has won the season was Gabriel Ellison to win at Iowa. Sean Powell, by the way, here, he's got 2 wins to his credit here on the season, and his 2 wins coming at Pocono and Chicagoland. Two very intriguing racetracks. Pocono, you know, a track where all the corners are different, a la here in Nashville. Chicago lane, a mile and a half, similar shape to a la Nashville. Why not? You know, Sean Powell right here in that 6th position. You know, he could use the help. He is a little bit below the cut line coming into today's race. I want to double check that count at 1 point behind Max Service, who's currently leading. So a couple more points now. So Powell, while he's not showing the dominant pace right now, watch for him to have something on the long run. He could have something here in that one machine. Or, well, I guess he's going to need something here, or he might not see the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. He's our P9 and up to P6, and sitting behind there in that P6 spot. But you know what? One thing I noticed, Emerson, is the whole field's pretty. You know, Max and Adrian get out to that about 0.8 of a second lead, and it's been about the same this last 5 or 6 laps. So, you know, everybody's kind of getting to that middle ground of the tires. Seems like, and I wonder if we'll see who saved and who didn't really start to showcase here in the next 10 laps.
Yeah, it will come to fruition. We know Tyler Justice has an extra switch, if you will, to really switch into high gear late in these stages. We'll see if that comes to fruition tonight. And Sean Powell now trying to find a way past this 35 machine to Logan Truitt. Good run here.
Yeah, Sean Powell looking right at the left rear quarter, making sure Truitt sees him. Keeping the inside, not going to do it this time, but Powell's got the right idea. I'm saying he's definitely going to need to get some runs. One thing I did last night in the trucks was I would really back my entries up and then try to really get good momentum, good push runs out of turn 2 and 4 to really try to get underneath guys coming into the next straightaway and corner. So I wonder if we'll see something similar for Sean Powell here as he's all over the back of Logan Truitt.
And Sean Powell continuing to apply the pressure on the 35 machine, the Jonathan iRacing and Logan Truitt, and everyone kind of running single file here. Very close to one another. Now Powell has a run. He looks to the inside, had a go there, and Truitt kind of covers it off, and we go once again into turns 1 and 2. Now 20 laps to go in stage 1, and we're gonna start to get to the point here, Reese, where the tires are gonna start to, you know, hit a little cliff, and you're not going to be able to use them as well as you have. Right around that lap 20 mark is when that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm really curious too, Emerson. You know, we talked about really the different driving styles and how everybody can find their unique thing. You know, even last night we saw between me and Ryan Johnson, Ryan would really send it off in the corners and let the car slide and use the bumps and banking to help out his truck. Well, I wanted to use the apex more, and I would really have wide entries and really get on the throttle late in the early as I could, so I can have a really good late exit and stay away from the turn 4 wall. And so, as we see here, Tyler Justice, you know, him just kind of taking his time, you know, really scraping the bottom. But I think we'll see throughout the field tonight that the different guys have different lines, different strategies, and we'll see guys talk all the way at the yellow like Sean Powell is right now as he's passing with.
You're trying to make this overtake here is Powell on Truitt, and Ellison there behind trying to follow suit as well. Now I was on board there with Tyler Justice, and we'll go back to him in just a second here. But Justice has already flipped the script where Justice is the faster driver on the track than the drivers ahead, and so Justice is already closing that gap to his competitors out in front.
Yeah, but one thing we saw him saying how long it took Sean Powell to get around Logan Truitt, as we see Ellison trying to make a move now. But you know, one thing about saving tires is always a benefit because you're always going to be faster. But man, passing is just so difficult, especially a place around like Nashville where it really is only one through lane, and so we're going to really see guys use their, you know, their skills and try to fine-tune what they can do to get around into their competitors. But as we see, look up the road, Emerson, Montgomery has caught Adrian Schumacher.
Yeah, this one's going to be very intriguing here as Montgomery is there on Schumacher. Justice is coming, and it looks like maybe these tank boys did not fully expect the full extent of these long runs here in Nashville. We're going to see here Schumacher under pressure from Montgomery. We'll see how quickly or how in a hurry Dustin Montgomery is going to be. For Montgomery, yes, it is imperative for him to get forward, to lead some laps and get moving here in the right direction. But you know, you got to think big picture as well. Don't do anything too risky to jeopardize your race.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see, Montgomery kind of sizing up Adrian almost, kind of using that middle lane, kind of trying to find where he can find extra grip and get a big run here off the corner as he's basically
Oh,
all over
Sean
the back.
Powell hits the wall.
Another victim, Emerson. Another victim. That turn 4 wall, man. All week, we've seen countless drivers bounce off that thing, and as we said, there's new damage models, so it's not as significant as it was in the past, but it's still, damage is never a good thing, especially at tracks like this where aero dependent and it's all momentum based, and so hopefully it doesn't affect Sean Powell too much. But Montgomery kind of almost doing a diamond effect, looks like. Emerson trying to get the big run early in the corner and then trying to get the momentum down the straightaway, but just can't seem to get around Adrian.
Yeah, and this is huge, right? Adrian in a must-win situation. Montgomery below the cut line, watching the cut line driver lead here at Nashville. And, it's imperative for Adrian to keep the track position. It's imperative for Montgomery to get that track position. And Tyler Justice, while he's locked in, he wants to help out his teammate get forward. And also, Justice just wants to, three-peat as Justice gets the wall there out of turn 4.
Another victim, Emerson, up to, I believe, 4 or 5 drivers here in the first
4 or 5, yep.
or 24 laps. So, like I said, pre-race, man, that turn 4 wall is a menace. It is so difficult because as these tires wear down, Emerson, you really have to start backing up your entries and corners. And while you back up your entries, you also have to back up when you get back on throttle time. With a track that's not really rhythmic and where all 4 corners are unequal, it's really hard to judge sometimes where you should get back on the gas and where you shouldn't, and especially too, like if you're Tyler Justice and Montgomery and you got a little more tires than the leaders, you just naturally get on the gas earlier. But since you have dirty air, you kind of hit that wall. So we see that countless times. As Emerson, the top 4 are under blanket, looks like Montgomery's going for it.
Yep, the battle for second underway. Montgomery gets to the inside of Adrian Schumacher. Schumacher fighting his heart out on the high side, but Montgomery will make... Oh, is it done? Yes, Montgomery makes easy work of Schumacher. Now Justice trying to fight his way on through as well. And Justice clears up to third, and so Schumacher in 1 lap goes from second to 4th. And don't look too soon, Max. All of a sudden, your teammate as a buffer car is gone. It is now Montgomery and Justice hot in pursuit of the 81 machine, and we'll see how Service fares. While Service wasn't the one under direct pressure from these two Phase 2 Chassis Works cars, as Service nearly catches the wall there, this is going to be a huge run for Montgomery.
The only thing benefiting Max Emerson is the fresh air, so no dirty air, and can kind of dictate his own race. But Montgomery and Justice have clearly saved a little bit more tires. Montgomery's going to be looks like he's going to try to send it here, Emerson.
He's got the inside positioning. Max is going to drive it deep there on the high side as well. Side by side, he turns 3 and 4. It's Service and Montgomery for the top spot here in Nashville. Service fights hard on the high side, but Montgomery will get himself a lap lead. And now they'll be even in terms of getting that lap lead. Now Service trying to file in behind. Oh, he tries to get to the inside. He hits the apron. That's not good, as that is going to open the door for Tyler Justice.
Momentum is so key around here, Emerson, and Max clipping that apron just lost him another spot. Max Service, just like Adrian Schumacher, within the lap, losing 2 spots.
And that's oh so difficult when you're on those, lesser tires or not as gripped up tires, right? Montgomery and Justice, they did everything right, saving their tires and working forward. Service, well, they thought they were doing it right, out in front and trying to maybe, keep that clean air and save the equipment that way. It seems Montgomery and Justice, they found a way to prevail here in stage 1. And we'll see if Service and Schumacher, if they can hit the drawing board here under this stage break coming up and see if they can try to rally back this. But right now they're sat 3rd and 4th. They don't want to let Powell get involved in this as well, or it's going to be a really big deficit for the 2 of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Emerson, we were talking about the playoff things earlier. Seth Berger back there being one of those guys that only had an 8-point cushion, but here he is, P11. And now Montgomery, right? Guys outside the cut line, Sean Powell, they're going to be getting good bonus points here with only 5 laps to go in the stage. So Berger's definitely going to have to start making some spots here quickly if he wants to minimize the damage. But, with 5 to go, Emerson, he might be in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be quite the math game here later on in this race. Robertson, by the way, is also starting to storm up forward past Truett, and that's gonna be huge as Robertson, one of those drivers, he only had a few points to the good here. Robertson came into today's race only 2 points to the good, with Service leading and being up the road, and Montgomery getting a lap led, and Powell being out in front. Robertson can find himself on the outside looking, and Truett as well, staying out there. Ryan Shield a little hurry back. This is definitely something that that Robertson needs to start working forward on here before the end of this stage, is to get forward. And I don't know if he can get another spot. He's got to definitely put the pressure on Powell.
Yeah, absolutely, Emerson. You know, coming here at lap 32 of 140, and a lot of these guys, you know, it's really interesting. You know, we saw Powell make a lot of ground. We saw Service and Schumacher get out in front early, but now slightly falling back. So a lot of different strategies, a lot of different mindsets here. But I think a lot of people really got a good grasp of what to expect here in the first stage. I'm really looking forward to the next second half, Emerson, because I think it's going to be really, really chaotic.
I certainly think it's going to be intriguing. Everyone got their first real taste of racing action, especially after a little chaotic and odd start to tonight. You know, got the jitters a little bit more. You know, you got out there on the pace lap, and guys are not going green. You're on like 4 more pace laps, and then restart the lobby, run another 2 pace laps. You know. Yeah. All your nerves, they start to build up. We got a battle here of Montgomery and Justice. This one could happen here before the end of the stage. Montgomery could really use this stage when is Justice going to play nice.
Something tells me in the past, I would say no. I think he might go for it, but I don't know. He's 0.2 back and only getting dirty Emerson. Definitely going to be really difficult.
Well, we'll see then. 1 lap to go here in stage number 1. Justice trying to close the gap. Montgomery doing the right thing here, keeping that bad boy here right in front, keeping Justice in the dirty air. We're going down the back for the final time here in stage number 1. Justice, is he close enough to do anything? He sends it here into turn 3. He actually did send it, as Justice is going to ride up the track. It's going to be Dustin Montgomery out of turn number 4, winning stage 1 here at Nashville. The caution comes out.
Great points all for Dustin Montgomery here, winning this stage, Emerson. I think any gaps or anything on the cut line doesn't really matter now. I believe Montgomery probably is sitting pretty good leading the lap. Probably is currently in the playoff with this stage 1 win.
Right, so you got to say both Max and Montgomery, they led laps, so you can, you know, scratch that. And now Montgomery finished 2 points ahead of Max, so Max and Montgomery are tied, but Robertson was only 1 point ahead of Service. And, you know, Service and Montgomery, they have blown by David Robertson, with Robertson finishing 6th. So Robertson is out. Berger not getting any stage points. That is a killer. Berger is probably going to be on the outside looking. It's going to be maybe Powell then making it. So right now it looks like Justice, locked in. Ellison with 2 stage points should be okay. But then from then on, it looks like Montgomery, Service, and Powell at the 5 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, fortunately for guys like Truett, Renshaw, Berger, those that may be outside on the first stage here, a lot of race left, and the points were super close coming in. So a good finish here on lap 140.
Oh, really, look what's happening here. Seth Berger staying out to get a lap led.
There you go. There you go. See, that's the strategy, Emerson.
Gotta do something.
Is it riding up the pace car to make sure he gets a lap led before the rest of the crew? And you know, hey,
baby.
You never know too, Emerson. You know, I'm not sure what the fuel number is or anything like that, but maybe having 1 extra lap of fuel coming here, you know, make it stay out an extra lap, and maybe just have that little edge on tires here. So definitely not a bad strategy from Seth Berger.
Absolutely not. And so we're gonna see the exit of pit lane here, as it's gonna be Montgomery and then Justice. Service gets Schumacher barely, and that's how they will come off the pit lane. As we're gonna take this opportunity to try to talk to driver of the number 12, Dustin Montgomery. as our stage 1 winner in that 12 machine. And Dustin, good little stage there. Able to work your way up from 5th, and you get past some of those tank drivers, get yourself some laps led, but more importantly, that stage win, that's going to take you from 2 points outside the cut line. So I believe you're going to be tied with Service and leapfrogging Robertson and Berger. It looks like you're going to be in at the moment. So some great work here in the early going. How do you keep it up?
Yeah, I think we just go for it. And, you know, I'm not going to worry too much about saving tires or strategy tonight. I'm just going to try to put down fast laps and see how it shakes out.
But there you go, Dustin. A great stage there. I know Tyler, I know he's your teammate, and he's got 2 wins. He's locked in. Did he take it easy on you there, or well, it looked like he did give it a send there in 3 and 4? But what was that like, racing your teammate there at the end of stage 1?
Yeah, I don't know. If he took it easy on me, he wouldn't be a very good teammate for real. But yeah, it's going to be tough. I think it'll be him. That's who I'll be fighting tonight to try to get the win. And it seems like that every time I race with Tyler, that's who I got to fight. But we'll see how it goes. He ain't got no team orders or nothing. He ain't going to let nobody win. And we'll see how it shakes out.
All right, Dustin. Well, congratulations on the stage 1 victory. Best luck to you the rest of the way, brother.
Appreciate it.
That was the 12 machine of Dustin Montgomery, our stage 1 winner, and we're getting ready to get back to the racing action here as the field works their way out of turn number 4, and the iRacing.com safety vehicle is going to find its safety down in the pit lane. The field in the hands of Dustin Montgomery, and racing from the Music City once again here in Nashville. One lap removed now into stage number 2. It's Montgomery, Justice, Service, Robertson, and Powell the top 5. Schumacher and Cortez going at it there in that battle for 6th.
Yeah, absolutely. As Prince Cortez being that pit stop TV car, trying to be a little bit spoiler here tonight, and Schumacher find himself back in P6. But a lot of these guys jostling for position early, Grims.
Yeah, absolutely. As Adrian and Cortez, they go at it now. Ryan Shield, a little bit of a slip up there to the inside of Ellison. Ellison's going to try to get around the outside, and Nelson, he does. They're up to the 9th position, and now all tightened up here between Cortez, Truitt, and Ryan Shield's going to go around sideways, and they save it. And Berger, oh no, Berger's coming down the pit lane.
Not sure exactly what the issue is for Seth Berger. We'll have to keep an eye on Emerson, as Ryan Shield, I cannot believe he saved that car.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, I think this is going to be a penalty for pitting under a closed pit lane. Stop in the pit box. And there's no tire service going on that car, so this is a penalty stop.
I wonder, Emerson, if, since we didn't have any lap cars, if Berger thought there'd be an extra lap where the pit lane would be open, which when he came down, it doesn't look like there was. So I don't know if that was something to do with it or what exactly happened, but yeah, Berger's still sitting in pit running.
Yeah, and right, this is going to probably be another 10 seconds here. Then he's going to leave the pit box here. This is quite unfortunate, and this is just chalking it up to not knowing the rules, unfortunately. As Berger's down and way up, it probably just got a splash of fuel. That is so unfortunate. Just caught out on the rule. Yeah, you have to pit that first time around unless the caution is longer. You're right, there was no lap the vehicle. Well, now there is. He is. That's unfortunate. Berger gets caught out there on a closed pit lane. Back out in front. Justin Montgomery has opened up a big gap here. Half a second to teammate Tyler Justice, who's under heavy pressure from David Robertson. Service trying to sit there, and Ford trying to keep himself up afloat above that cut line. Now Robertson storming back to fruition. This could be interesting here as well. Service got the lap led and the points over Robertson in the stage. Robertson now ahead once again, and Robertson's going to try to trek towards tie with Service, and unfortunately, with what's going on with Seth Berger, it might make this a little easier in terms of Robertson and Service making it. So this is some big news. I don't know if they're, keeping track of it, but Berger being 2 laps down, in a series where very, very little cautions happen, that's going to be tough.
He's going to need a lot of help, Emerson. Maybe if he stays out late during one of the pit cycles and a caution comes out, they can get, 1 lap back plus a lucky dog. But yeah, Berger definitely a tough break. Going to need a lot of help here. But as we know, and as it usually occurs here in all of iRacing, anything can happen. So I've seen guys 4 or 5 laps down get all the way back. So we will have to see, as looks like David Robertson's going to be working on Tyler Justice.
Yeah, Robertson making a big move there past the 6 machine to Tyler Justice. And now Robertson continuing to trek forward. If he can stay that, cushion above Service, could be close here, and Robertson potentially could tie Max Service moving forward. So this is going to be a whole lot to take in. And it's now Service under attack from Schumacher. Powell hot in pursuit as well. Power all over the 0 machine. Powell now pulls out the pass on Adrian. And Vinny will stay behind.
Adrian getting a good run there through the middle of the corner. Looks like he's gonna stay clear of Powell, so good run by Adrian. But now he's gonna attack his teammate Max Service. Adrian looking inside.
Yeah, he almost had to, right? Oh my goodness, Cortez and Powell going at it hard, and Cortez gonna be a little playoff spoiler trying to work his way through the inside here. Can't keep it down there, and files in back behind Powell.
Kind of funny, 4 cars were in the line, then all of a sudden, in the straightaway, Emerson, we were 2 by 2 coming there in turn 1, but all 4 cars get back in line here as they kind of enter this train 2nd through 13th with Robertson leading the car.
Yeah, Robertson heading the front end of this train, and Justice under attack now from Schumacher. And wow, this is just Tyler Justice trying to, work his way to that point of the stage where he will turn it on and really get going here. Feeling this pressure from Schumacher. Does he stay unfazed even though, well, he's actually going to let Schumacher get to the inside here. So that, I guess, will answer the question.
Adrian, like we said, needs a win here tonight, getting his way back up to P3 where he started. So Adrian is kind of following behind Robertson now as Montgomery is almost up into a 2nd lead on the field here, Emerson.
Yeah, that's Montgomery really on it now and open that gap to David Robertson. Now Adrian, a big run on Robertson there for a 2nd, and you have to think Adrian, Reese, why not Adrian, right? Well, we think of him as the road ringer. Really, he prefers driver's tracks. What better track of a driver's track than a very difficult, bumpy concrete oval, tri-oval like Nashville?
Yeah, absolutely, Emerson. He's just been one of those guys where, like you said, a road ringer, but has been definitely improving in his oval game throughout the years here at Speed Racing Network. And as we see, up to P3 and now looking kind of peek at the door of Robertson and trying to work his way into clean air.
But Robertson, he's also taking chunks out of Montgomery. And so Montgomery, I don't know if he made a mistake last lap, but big time now chunks in the favor of Robertson and Schumacher. Montgomery, who once had a 2nd lead, Reese, he's half that.
Yeah, he talked about at the stage break, Emerson, that he just kind of send it as we look a little further back. Looks like Sean Powell's just at the quarter. No, not quite near the inside of Emerson or Max Service there. But like you said, Emerson, at the stage, he talked about how he's just going to send it and just go for it, and that's what he did because he got that 2nd lead. But now here when the tires kind of hit that 2nd phase, looks like he's kind of falling back a little bit.
We work lap 55 of 140, 55 complete here from the Music City. It's Dustin Montgomery out in front, David Roberts in second, Adrian Schumacher in a must-win scenario. He is in third. Tyler Justice, he is locked into Homestead. The only driver locked into Homestead right now. He is fourth. Max Service, a cut line driver, sat there in fifth. Powell, Cortez, Truitt, Ellison, and De La Rosa of a top 10. Kalal, Ryan Shield, Bayer of a lead lap, and Seth Berger 2 laps down. Will Berger find a way to get himself back into the championship 5? Work lap 57 here. Powell and Service going at it here. Viss for the 5th position.
I always seen him about a couple times now try to get to the inside of Max Service. Definitely a little bit farther along than he has before here, being about parallel with him as they enter turn 3. It looks like he's going to clear him, Emerson.
Cortez is going to get in there as well, and this is not helping Max. Max really needs to stop the bleeding now. Service has really got to start working forward instead of backwards if Service is going to find himself inside the championship 5. He's, lost that spot to Powell. Well, coming into today's race, he was 1 point behind Powell. I'm sorry, 1 point ahead of Powell, and he's led laps and, finished ahead of Powell at the stage. You don't want to erase that whole deficit.
Yeah, absolutely. Max, like you said, got that lead early and then kind of fell back, and now here finds himself P6, but still a lot of race left, Emerson. And as we saw, if you keep, your tires under it, you could definitely make some hay here in the second half.
Absolutely. So Service and Cortez, they sorted out for the time being. Powell opening up the gap as well. A little tight here between some JBR teammates, Truitt and Ellison. Here's Ellison. He's got to work his way forward as well. He had a decent margin coming into today's race, but only 2 stage points. You don't want to leave it all up to your margin coming into today's race. You got to get yourself some points in your favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Being lap 60 of 140 here, definitely gonna have to start making your way up through the field here and definitely get some stage points. I believe the restart around lap 40, so we'll probably see some pit cycles, probably I would say around the 90 mark if I had to guess, Emerson.
You think these guys, they can go about 50 laps here?
Probably gonna be close, that's for sure. Probably gonna be close. We'll have to see if I can get a field number, see if I can mess it in the guys, and see if I can get that for us. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see strategies as we see Justice. Emerson's all over the back of Schumacher and gonna look the inside.
Big move here. Tyler Justice powering by the Zero Machine of Adrian Schumacher. So move Tyler Justice back onto the podium, and now Cortez on Service here in this battle for 6th. Cortez said, I'll try to be a teammate long enough, but now I gotta go. I got a race to win. So Cortez trying to get by Max Service. Service nearly into the back of the 23.
Service is kind of falling down the ladder currently here, Emerson. Definitely not one you want to see from the Max Service camp, but luckily for him, like we said, a lot of race left here, and maybe if he's trying to save some stuff for the second half of this big long run here. But as we look further up, Emerson Montgomery lost that gap, and guess what? It backed up to a second. So whatever I don't know what gear Montgomery found, but it looks like he found 5th gear, Emerson, as the gap is over a second now.
Yeah, Montgomery, it's been a weird ebb and flow for Dustin Montgomery. I'm gonna guess maybe he just made a mistake or something that really allowed the field to catch up, because he has opened that gap right back up, or he was saving, and as soon as he saw Tyler Justice get by Adrian Schumacher, he said, all right, time to turn it back up. So Montgomery trying to keep himself out in front by a large margin over Tyler Justice. Well, Montgomery was not in a must-win scenario coming into today's race, Reese. For someone who won 4 races on the season, but hasn't won in quite a long time, Dustin Montgomery himself will probably have to get a win here soon. And so, what better time than to get it going? Dustin Montgomery, he has not won a race since August at Darlington. Before that, it was all through July. So we are now over almost 4 months removed. By the time we get to Homestead next week, Reese, or in 2 weeks' time, it'll be 4 months since Montgomery's last win. even though he has 4 on the season. So Montgomery, while it's not a must-win scenario points-wise or math-wise, he might be in a must-win scenario if he's gonna, have any motivation going to Homestead.
Yeah, definitely started off strong and then kind of fizzled out after the summer months. Kind of the cold front moved in with the fall time. But like you said, it's always in all of NASCAR and iRacing series, we all see guys with just momentum and just guys that, wins, tend to cause, good momentum and good finishes for drivers. And why not for Montgomery, right? He's been quiet here recently, but a win here could really propel him going into Homestead.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone who's been on the momentum this playoff push has been Tyler Justice. He won the race before the playoffs with Phoenix, and then has won every race in the playoffs with the exception of Watkins Glen, which that was Adrian Schumacher. But every oval, including Phoenix, Tyler Justice has won at. And Tyler Justice trying to continue that feat here tonight. And what would be his 9th victory on the season if Tyler Justice was able to do it tonight. And if Justice were able to get the win tonight and in 2 weeks' time at Homestead, Reese, Tyler Justice would be would have won half the season.
Which is unbelievable. I mean, that is an insane feat. I mean, Justice, like we said, I mean, he has been, I don't even think on fire is the right word. I mean, this guy became a godsend recently. I mean,
this guy is lava, man. You can't touch him.
Yeah, I mean, you can't touch him. I mean, yeah, it is just scorching. I mean, 5 of the last 6 races, and that we talked about, right? Guys, when they get momentum going, Emerson, they just ride that high, and we saw Montgomery early in the season, and then just late in the season, just over and over, just putting good finishes after good finishes after good finishes. And so, momentum is super key here, especially being the penultimate race of the playoffs. I mean, this race can really dictate how Homestead goes.
Absolutely. It's going to be a huge factor for sure. While tonight is not a mile and a half, you kind of said it yourself. The Homestead is not a traditional mile and a half either. They drive their own different ways. And tonight, well, again, it's a mile and a third, not a mile and a half, but it brings some very difficult characteristics. The bumps like Homestead, right? Not that it translates or anything, because this is concrete and Homestead is not concrete. But you gotta say that there's gonna probably be a little carryover from how someone does tonight to 2 weeks from now in Homestead. As we're coming up to the halfway point here from Nashville. A pit stop or 2 still left in this race. It's Dustin Montgomery with a 1.7 second advantage. 2 seconds back of the leader, you'll find David Robertson. He's got Adrian Schumacher hot in pursuit. Sean Powell and Vincent Cortez 5th and 6th. Service at 7th. Service has got Truett and Ellison hot in pursuit as well. So Service desperately needs to find that pit stop.
Absolutely. I mean, Service, we saw him up front earlier, now about 3.8 seconds behind the leader, kind of slowly falling back. So whatever driving style Max had earlier in the race, definitely going to have to try to go back to it, because that was definitely a little bit quicker for him. As we look a little further, Emerson, 4th, 5th, and 6th here with Schumacher, Powell, and Cortez starting to close in a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting to the point here, Reese, where we got to think about a pit stop here in the next 10 or so laps. If you can make it 20 laps, that would be enough to split the rest of this race in half. But if you can't make it 20 laps, then it is going to have to be a 2-stop to the end. So we're going to see here Powell and Cortez. They get tight there through the center of 1 and 2. And at the moment, no drastic moves. We have hit that point of the run, Reese, where the tires are not working the way you want them to be. So the really only moves you're going to make now is if you make, or your competitor makes a mistake at this moment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's extremely hard to pass. Or the only way we're going to see passing Emerson is kind of what we saw in that first stage, where guys that really saved their stuff are really have to be way more rapid than those in front of them. But even then, those guys that saved early are probably also starting to struggle. So definitely going to be a really probably most single file here for the next 15 or 20 laps, or whatever the pit cycle is. But for guys like Montgomery, Justice, or any gaps in the field like Service that have clean air, you appreciate the clean air. definitely help you. But I mean, Montgomery seems like he's the only one that's driving the clean air because he's up 1.9 seconds almost now.
And I mean, look at this, right? You know, we thought Montgomery was, you know, dead in the water when he lost that big gap he once had. Oh, we got a battle here as Ellison fires by Logan Truitt. Something to miss with the 35 machine, or he coming in? No, he's staying out. So something to miss for Logan Truitt as Ellison goes on by. Now Ellison at service is going to be a fun battle here for 7th. But we saw Montgomery lose that gap to David Robertson, and now he has opened his gap once Justice has gotten to 2nd. So that's going to lead me to believe, Reese, that Montgomery was just saving until he needed to, because he is starting to gap Tyler Justice even on the very long run where Justice seems to excel past everyone.
Absolutely, it's
and we got a Tregarden as Logan Truitt.
The first one to come in, Emerson. 64 laps to go. Definitely looks like it'd be a 2-stop pitting at this time. So we'll have to see if others respond around Logan, if Kalal and those guys, and yep, Jonathan Byer also in.
So the first dominoes to fall there. Dustin Montgomery staying out and leading here in Nashville. He will stay out and continue to lead laps here at Nashville. No one else deciding to pit this time, and so you stick with it here in Nashville. 63 laps to go. Back very tight here. Robertson, Schumacher, Powell, and Cortez all under a blanket. And Tyler Justice as well up the road, and you know, we're about to get 5 cars under a blanket with Justice not able to really take advantage of it in the battle here. Cortez and Powell going at it.
As trying to hug the yellow line. 2 of them really close coming out of the corner here, Emerson, pinching each other as 2 of them about parallel down the backstretch here. Cortez looking the inside. Gonna make the pass done.
Got to spin under front straightaway. Jonathan Byer. Uh-oh. Oh, baby.
Oh,
very dangerous rejoin for Jonathan Byer. Oh, my goodness. I am not a fan of that rejoin. And then Nathan De La Rosa has spun on pit entry. Oh, my goodness.
Is it raining out there, Emerson? Everybody's starting to spin out here. I know the iRacing update was coming next week.
Gabriel Ellison. Ellison is gone. Oh, no. No, one of our playoff drivers above the cut line. Gabriel Ellison in trouble. Ellison is no longer connected to the session.
The only one, Emerson. I also lost connection on my end, so I don't know if he's
the only
one. I think we may have some similar issues.
And we've lost, I believe we lost Scotty Reinshield, and we have lost Sean Powell. And now with 60 laps to go, we find ourselves in the same scenario we found ourselves before the race. Now we're working lap 80, and this is intriguing because now we have drivers that are 2 laps down, and Byer and Berger. Truitt is 1 lap down, and no move yet from the admins. I don't know what the real move is going to be here. But if they are going to, you know, reset this race or get these people back into this race, get themselves back onto the lead lap, I'd imagine a caution would have to come out very soon to freeze the field before any more stops happen. 58 laps to go and the race continues. So we will await a move from race control here. But we have lost championship competitors in the penultimate race of the season. I imagine to iRacing server issue connectivity, as Reese has also lost connection to the server. You know, Reese, you can still keep tabs with the feed we've got going on here, but we have lost Sean Powell and Scotty Reinshield, and De La Rosa has lagged out.
Ellison as well, yep.
Ellison as well, and Reinshield is back into session. Ellison probably the biggest blow, with Ellison being above the cut line coming into today's race.
So I'm not sure how our Point standings are going to look after this one. I'm not sure what the move is from the admins, but we've lost.
Ellison is back. Right shoot is back. So they're going to try to get back into this race. I don't know if a caution's going to come out or if they're going to get their last back or if this is it. But, you know, 2 championship drivers in Ryan Shield and Ellison out, you know, lagged out here. Powell as well. You're still waiting on Powell to rejoin the server. Powell's back. And so this is huge. And what this does do, Reese, is this brings Seth Berger back into the mix, Reese. Because Berger, who was 2 laps down, was the last driver in 14th. But now Berger, the leader is in. Dustin Montgomery is pitted. Max Service is in as well. So despite all the craziness of championship competitors lagging out of the session, we still have a race going on between Montgomery and Service. And Justice and Robertson still out there as well. So the leaders are in.
Yeah, I was going to say absolute chaos here in the last 10, 15 laps. Emerson and I, went from, unfortunately got the same issues we had earlier, but I think a lot of competitors are back in and back out there except De La Rosa's. But we will have to see if what concurs here in the next 54 laps.
This is a very intriguing position. I do not envy the admins to be in right now. This is very difficult. How do you contest this? How do you, justify to, these drivers who have worked hard all season long for their season to come down to this, right? I don't want to be, I would not want to be a fly in that room right here. Tyler Justice, the leader, spinning, coming down the pit entry. Oh my goodness, what is going on here in the Music City?
I don't think he's going to get a penalty though, Emerson, for unsafe pit. Luckily, fortunately for him, the yellow line being down there, but definitely a 1X and definitely going to be losing a point there. So, gonna have to see what unfolds here.
Now, for Tyler Justice, he's locked in. So, it doesn't truly matter for Tyler Justice, but Cortez and Schumacher, they're coming in as well. And Scott Kalaw out here, the race leader, he's coming down the pit lane now. And I'm gonna be honest, Reese, I don't know what is going on. I think the best thing we can do is to let this pit cycle play out, see if there's any moves to try to readjust the scoring of this race or, reset this race. I'm not sure. I'm not saying they should or they shouldn't, but, it is an intriguing scenario we're in right now as Logan Truitt takes the lead. Truitt was the first driver to pit on this cycle pit stops. And then Montgomery is sat second as the theoretical leader once he gets by Truitt. But Truitt is on 9-lap older tires than Montgomery. And we have Robertson, Justice, Service, Schumacher, Cortez, Kalalva lead lap. Byer had spun out on cold tires and he is still on the lead lap. And now Justice and Justice and Service going at it here. Justice with 2-lap fresher tires. He has made easy work of Max Service here with 50 laps to go here, Reese. I know you've made your way back in the side now. Service backed by Justice. And so the battle for 4th continuing on. This goes on 7.5 seconds behind the leader. Reese, I think I've tried to describe it very well, but what do you make of everything that we've seen so far? And we're going to get a change for the lead here very soon as well.
Yeah, it is utter chaos here in Nashville. They talk about Las Vegas, or it's the city that never sleeps. Well, here in Nashville, they are taking that into full fruition here as we see Montgomery going to be passing Logan Truitt. Truitt got a lap led, so definitely a good bonus point for him. But if
all the craziness, Truitt, he might have a shot now. He was only remember 3 points below the cut line.
Yeah, got another bonus for him right there. And if he's, we saw guys that are spinning on the grass having issues. So, if he keeps the 0X, going to be another bonus point. And, I'm just here with all these pit strategies and all these differences. I mean, look at the gap between Truitt and the rest of the field, about 5 seconds. So, and if we're going to have another pit stop here tonight, I mean, I don't know how many spots he's going to drop back, I mean, I don't know how much he's losing or time-wise or anything. But, it's honestly, Emerson, it's been utter chaos here the last 20 laps. I mean, we've seen some playoff drivers and 5 guys drop out of the race. We've seen, Ellison, who was sitting really comfortably, but finished P9 in the stage. Now he's 13th. I think he's still okay, but I don't want to be 100% positive. And, we saw Montgomery, who's outside the cut line. If he moves in, someone's got to get mooted out. And Max Surface, he was struggling early, now up to P4 with all these issues. So, I mean, utter chaos here in the last half of the race. And, Emerson, I'm looking through the field here, and I went back to, if we can go to here to Tyler Justice and ride along with him. I noticed some guys are starting to save some fuel.
We'll ride on board here. We'll set up the telemetry. Oh, there you go. Silence
Yes.
into the corner. And if things couldn't have gotten any crazier here in the Music City, we have a fuel mileage race on our hands.
just when you think it can't get any crazier, we have fuel mileage occurring here tonight in Emerson, and that makes me think guys like I believe Truitt and JB. I wonder if
they're not gonna make it. There's no way.
Not gonna make it. There's no way.
See Montgomery not saving. Put on board Robertson not saving. Service not saving. Is Tyler Justice the only one who realized? Oh, Schumacher saving. How about that?
Yeah. So what, we see some guys saving, some not. So you wonder if the guys that aren't saving are just kind of going to be saving the second half, and if you wonder if Justice and these other guys are saving now, so they have more momentum in the later half of this race. Because as we know, Emerson, this series tends to go green. Even with some spinners tonight, we still are green and all these connectivity issues. So it can be really different and interesting strategy here for the last 45 laps.
Absolutely. And what Schumacher might be doing is trying to make it to the end of this race, obviously, but I think Schumacher might feel he might be the only one trying to make that strategy work, or he's trying to save earlier enough to where if anyone else tries to save, he should be okay. Now, the unfortunate thing for Adrian is that Tyler Justice is also saving hardcore right in front of him. So just Schumacher in a must-win situation. He's now got to find a way to save fuel and pass Tyler Justice.
He's only 3 seconds back though, or about almost 2 now, Emerson. So, if Adrian can get close to him, or if we have a late race yellow or something happens, honestly, I think we've seen so far here tonight, anything is possible. That is for sure. So, definitely going to be keep an eye on Adrian and Justice here in the next 43 laps.
Well, I don't quite know what to make of what we've seen today here at Nashville. I think the one word would be chaos. That is for sure. We are just shy of 100 laps complete here in Nashville, and we've had just about everything thrown at us. We had technical difficulties before the race began. We had 3rd through 9 coming into today's race. Race separated by 9 points. We've had craziness with the strategy. We've had lag outs now during the race. We had one of our drivers who thought he was making a smart move to get a point, get a penalty, and now finds himself, well, he's down in the 12th position, but finds himself still alive, with all the lag outs. And man, I really don't know if your season ends tonight on a technicality or on a technical difficulty, man, how you can leave tonight, okay with it, I mean, that
it would definitely put a sour taste in the mouth. Yeah. I overheard Robertson and Ellison talking the race, and Robertson was saying that those that have lagged out might be all on the same connectivity, and Ellison mentioned Charter Spectrum, which I am also on Charter Spectrum, so I don't know if it's a service provider thing or if it's iRacing itself, but it's a tough break for a lot of these guys. Nothing they can do.
This has happened before. Oh, Truitt's coming in also. So Truitt is committed to the 2 stop, he's making his 2nd stop. But it's happened. I'm on Xfinity, and it has happened to Xfinity users, specifically on the East servers, the Boston servers that iRacing uses. There's been times connectivity has played a factor here, and Scotty Ryan Shield has towed back to the pit lane. So something amiss for Scotty Ryanchi. I don't know if he. Oh no, I believe we've lost Powell as well.
Yep, and I have also lost again.
Oh
so
no, here we go again.
It is recurring again here. So it's interesting though. It's only happening on the servers. Like I'm not obviously losing any connection to Discord or
So
anything else.
that's how we know it. While you are also on Spectrum as Ellison, and I believe Ellison would probably be lagging out here as well. I can look into Discord. Ellison is still in the Discord, and I don't see the Powell is still in the Discord. You know, these guys are not lagging out of the Discord. So this is an iRacing issue. This has happened in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series as well. We have had mass connectivity issues. I believe that night it was Xfinity users as well. You know, it is a mass server issue with a specific type of internet. You know, whether it's service or connectivity or, you know, the type of, you know, internet usage, it is targeting a specific set of users, and that has come to fruition here tonight on a very wild topsy-turvy kind of race, where if you were to look at the final results more than likely tonight, or if you look at the left side of the pylon, you'd think tonight is an utterly boring race. But if you have been here the whole time, you would know it is far from that. While yes, Dustin Montgomery does have a 5.5 second lead over his competition, it is by far chaos. Pretty much for anyone that doesn't Dustin Montgomery tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely been really just honestly insane here at Nashville. I mean, guys, connectivity issues. We've had test strategies. We even have a current fuel situation going on with Tyler Justice and Adrian saving. I mean, it is nothing but chaos here tonight.
Still saving here. By the way, on board with Justice. I don't even know what to say. Say Reese, I would say Cortez, but he's just he's a part-timer trying to play playoff sports. Say your max service, Reese, in his spot, 1 point above the cut line, and all this chaos is happening. You're in between field strategies. You don't know if you're gonna end up lagging out. Like what's going through your mind if you're in this race right now.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting here this last 33 laps. Emerson, we see Logan Truex get past Montgomery, but or Tyler Justice, excuse me. But I am curious to see. I don't know how much Montgomery's been saving Emerson. That's definitely gonna be pretty interesting.
Is your mindset just control what you can control and try your best, or
yeah,
can you do anything differently?
For those, like you said, that are that are obviously like Powell and each other down. It's just really a heartbreak kind of night. And those that are still in, we talked about max service now up to P3. This is, a blessing. This is everything. The race was kind of crumbling down a little bit. All of a sudden, you're back in it. So it's, yeah, sadly, it's for those that are out of it, it's heartbreak, and those that are in it, Emerson, are relieved and just it's definitely going to be a versatile crowd of emotion here tonight.
That is for sure, Reese. I know, despite not there being many, if any, on-track incidents through 110 laps tonight, Reese, I believe the admin office is going to be very busy tonight.
Yeah, that is for sure, Emerson. It's just unfortunate too, because it's not anyone's fault.
Absolutely, it's not the admin's fault. It's not the driver's fault.
No,
it's something between the service provider and iRacing, which no one knew that this was going to happen today. And yes, while it's happened in times past, it's also happened with other service providers, not just Spectrum, right? It's not just say you can get a different provider, be okay. No, this has happened with Xfinity, and I'm sure this has happened with other internet providers. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's unfortunate. Like you said, it's at everybody's control. I don't know the technicalities of it, but since this has been an issue for years, so I wonder if it's even out of iRacing's control, or if it's If it's something that just maybe, you know, the Spectrum servers have like a mandatory reset at certain times, or if there's some other, you know, too, we never know too. You know, I don't know where Spectrum is based out of currently here in the East Coast, but you know, if it's raining or storming over there and if they're having issues, you know, it's, I mean, it's
It's
probably
currently storming around
yeah.
me.
Yeah, so it's probably a plethora of factors, Emerson, unfortunately, and these drivers here tonight. I mean, if you're, like you said, Ellison, Ryan Shield, Powell, I mean, you're just at the mercy of it, and you know, and I don't know, you know, we talked about it with Montgomery being outside the cut line. Emerson now going to be in if he wins. I mean, even if he doesn't win, he's definitely going to be in with his points because win the stage and leading the most laps here tonight. I mean, this is going to be utter chaos here for not only, you know, just, I mean, the playoff picture. I'm really curious on what kind of decision the admin's making. I don't know if we've seen in the past they haven't, you know, in previous seasons it's been kind of just cut and dry, unfortunately. But you never know. Maybe if since these drivers here tonight are getting utterly screwed out of, you know, any chance of making the next round, you wonder if things might change going into Homestead.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a plethora of, you know, options going through my mind right now that, you know, the admins could do, but the thing is, you know, not any one of them is right or wrong for everyone that's in this race right now. You know, like restarting the race, that's not fair to the drivers, you know, who have put in their time tonight, you know, and have competed this evening. But it's there's so much.
Restarting the race, and you know, and then you're thinking, well, maybe, you know, those that screwed, maybe they give them a second chance at the playoffs. Well, that's not really fair to guys like Montgomery and Tyler Justice, right?
Yeah, if they make their way in,
because if let's say, you know, Powell, and let's say we had 8 people in the championship race, and then all of a sudden Justice gets screwed, you know, gets wrecked or something, or, you know, just scenario wise, instead of finishing 5th, then he's going to finish 8th and get less money. So, you know, it's definitely just a terrible spot to be in for everybody, to be honest. And here, you know, with 25 laps to go, and Montgomery's got a 10-second lead on Robertson and others, and as we saw, Max Servers just hit pit for the second time. But it is a terrible spot to be in. Unfortunate. I mean, it's, you know, even if this was race 3 of the season, it would have been so much easier to deal with and figure out. But here we are,
race 19, man.
19, the most important race of the season so far. I mean, easily so far.
Yes.
And we have connection issues. So just terrible rake for everybody, and we will have to see what comes after the event here tonight, Emerson. We'll have to, you know, update those on YouTube or those around on our website of what the outlets are doing. Social media. Yeah, so it's you know, for those that are watching your night, obviously we'll update you as in the coming days as soon as we can. But the one thing, hopefully, like we talked about earlier, hopefully the points things will be updated as soon as possible here with 23 laps to
go. To do a little recap, we have now had 4 drivers make their second stop on the night that haven't lagged out. In Logan Truitt pitted at lap 101. Vincent Cortez pitted at 110. Max Service pitted at 114, and Jonathan Byer pitted at 107. They are 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. The drivers who have lagged out this evening consist of Ellison, Ryan Shield, Powell, and De La Rosa. Now, De La Rosa, he's not in the playoffs. He called it in the evening, said there is no point for him to continue. Very much can see that train of thought. For Ellison, Ryan Shield, and Powell, they are playoff drivers, and they are now just trying to make it to the end, get credited with whatever the best they can get credited with. Powell, 13th, Ryan Shield, 12th, Ellison, 11th, but they are all in or around the same lap. And so that'll be intriguing to see how that scoring all works out here. Now, Ellison did not get to pit, you know, on the third lag out tonight, like Rancho and Powell did. And then the leaders coming in. Dustin Montgomery is hitting the pit lane as well. So just as I was trying to give a little quick reset, Montgomery is in. We'll say this, Berger, who had the penalty for pitting on a closed pit lane. He is then 10th, 2 laps down. He finds himself in between the drivers who have made their second pit stop tonight, Reese, and ahead of the drivers who have lagged out. So that's where Berger is set. Now the race leader is in.
Yeah, Montgomery, we saw he wasn't saving early, and this is why, comparing to the 2-stop, Emerson, we will have to keep an eye on Tyler Justice, as he has now made his way past Montgomery, obviously. Montgomery falling down at 5th
oh,
here,
just a splash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. really interesting strategy. That's something you don't often see, Emerson, as we set Montgomery really hard on the gas here. But like we said though, Emerson, win. I mean, and you're in obviously, but points wise tonight, Montgomery is definitely, I would think, done enough to make himself into the final 5. So even if he doesn't win, it's not the end of the world. But we will have to see how the splash and go plays out for him, as that thing looks pretty swirly on those colder
Yes.
tires that they cool down a little bit.
Intriguingly heated tires. Well, I'm not so sure. It's, obviously we need all the math to play out here. I'd like to boast that I'm pretty good at my mental math. In these elimination races, I like to say during the broadcast what I think is going on position and points wise. I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't mentally keep track of what's gone on tonight. And oh my goodness, Montgomery is really fighting at that wheel. Right on board with Dustin Montgomery, one of our, drivers trying to make the championship 5. Look at him saw at this wheel.
All the way down there on the yellow line and coming out here just completely squirrely here at turn 2, and we saw last time on turn 4. We'll have to see again, but man, it is a battle, that is for sure. Montgomery.
Look at this over the bump.
Bump always upsets the car. And
he's actually calmed down a little bit.
And tamed it up that time, but still, I mean, it's just, it's definitely not an easy feat here for any of these drivers here tonight, Emerson, on these older tires.
So in all this mess, Reese, David Robertson is now your race leader, who came into today's race 2 points below the cut line. But while Dustin Montgomery and Max Service performed so well in the stage, now also Robertson gained some laps led. Now I'm not so sure that Montgomery and Service, that they make it into the round of 5 now. It also depends, where does Berger get scored? Where does Ellison get scored? I mean, we might have like a 6-7 way tie here. I mean, this is going to be absolutely nuts. Truett as well. He came to today's race 3 points below the cut line today, Reese. Truett's led laps. He's up there now in the top 6. I don't know how this map is gonna work out, man.
Emerson, don't look too far. I mean, look who's in P3, right? We talked about how Justice are saving, and so is Schumacher. If Justice doesn't have enough fuel, and neither does Robinson, and Schumacher does, all of a sudden your 10th place driver, currently in the point standing, is going to be in the playoffs. So I mean, it is utter chaos here, points wise and race wise, with 15 laps to go.
Absolutely. Yes, the gaps on that left side are massive, and if this were any other race, this might be one of the most boring races ever. But with all of the scenario, all the drama that is built today, we have ourselves an absolute barn burner here with 14 laps to go, and we don't know how any of this is going to play out. We have no idea who's going to win. This is something else. And now Justice is closing the gap on Robertson. The battle for the lead is about to be alive and well.
Yeah, the gap seemingly disappearing. You wonder if Justice is close on, or good on fuel, or you wonder if he just wants to get ahead of Robertson, or you wonder if maybe Robertson's trying to save. We saw.
Oh, maybe Robertson's trying to save.
Yeah.
Yes, that's happening.
Yeah, Robertson's currently not good on fuel, so starting to save up, and look at him, he's really saving it. Not even apexing the corner at all, just trying the short way around the track, staying in the bottom lane. So Robertson definitely not good on fuel here, but the gap, even though it's come down a bunch, looks like we kind of feeling out a little bit. And as we look back, you see in the further background there's Schumacher and others in the back. So not sure what's gonna happen here with 12 laps to go. The fuel number is definitely gonna be close.
Swinging for the fences here. Robertson trying to save fuel while also trying to hold on to the race lead here in the Music City. Tyler Justice, a big run now as Justice trying to go for the three-peat around the outside. Tyler Justice is there, and Tyler Justice off of turn number 2 is going to take the lead here at Nashville in a wild turn of events. But now can he make it on fuel?
11 laps to go here, Emerson. I mean, it's going to be extremely, extremely close for our top 3. And Emerson, if you look not too far back, look who's only 7 seconds behind now. I mean,
Oh yeah,
plunge the gap down. Justin
Ellison
Montgomery.
is in. Oh my goodness, he had to come in for his next service here, and now Ellison is going to be on even the back footing between Ryan Shield and Powell. And so what could have been for Gabriel Ellison Reese coming into today's race 17 points above the cut line, that's a big cushion. But with 2 points gained to his name at the stage, man, this is going to be tough.
It's going to be really close here. Honestly, what might help Ellison if Justice does win, leaving an extra spot open for him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's going to be really, really close here. Like you said, Emerson, I thought I had a really good idea of the point standings during the stage, but after 140 laps here, I have absolutely, or 131 so far, I have absolutely no idea what is currently happening with the point standings. So it is going to be close. Yeah,
at lap 37, I thought I knew who was in and who was out, and I did. I think at that moment. At lap 137, that is not close. We're on lap 132, I should say. You know, 8 laps to go here from Nashville. It's been a wild race. Montgomery, yes, he is on it. Well, Montgomery, he does not have fresh tires. He does have a full tank of fuel. Montgomery does not have to save Reese, and he is full bore here. He's gonna fly past Adrian Schumacher.
Yeah, see me disappearing. Emerson was down 7 seconds, now under 4. Look at that thing, 3.5. So he is absolutely cooking here. Only 7 laps to go. He might get up to Tyler Justice.
I mean, look, David Robertson and Adrian Schumacher, they are crawling around this racetrack. I mean, look at this. Oh my goodness. Just, he's gonna blow by him like nothing, like he's standing still.
Yeah, like I said, Robertson is just using the short way around the track, just riding the yellow line to minimize the distance he has to travel.
Here comes Adrian. This is gonna be a battle here for third. This is important. If with all the chaos, this could open up a venue. You know, if Justice does end up winning, what if Schumacher could point his way in?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it seemed impossible early, but now Emerson, after 134 laps here, it does not seem so impossible. I mean, anything is out the window. Every spot is going to matter more than ever.
Service got by Truett. That's huge for service. Huge. But now, teammate Jonathan Byer maybe trying to play a little block here for his teammate and Logan Truett. Service has got to find a way past this. This could be contentious here.
Yeah.
Oh, Byer! I mean, he is backing him up. Oh my goodness.
Parking the bus here, and look at the Truett going to the inside. And here comes Truett again.
This is crazy team orders.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great team tactic, great team orders, and. You know, Emerson, I'm looking back at the gap up front, though. 1.6 all of a sudden.
Oh, we don't know, man. What's going to happen?
I mean, look in the rear view. Here he comes. Max is finally going to get around JB. JB's going to pinch him.
He's going to try, man, but Service just blows by the 13.
Yeah. Hey, good battles, though. Hey, way to keep it in. It's definitely, you know, it just shows how, teamwork is so vital here in iRacing. And Emerson, like I said, I back up front here, 4 laps to go. And there he is. There is Montgomery right behind Justice.
1 second to gap.
Yeah, might get a repeat of last night where we have a 2 to go, 3 to go pass. We will have to see.
Well, here we go. 3 laps to go now, counted 2. 0.7 of a second is the gap. Does Tyler Justice have enough fuel? Does Tyler Justice have enough will to fend off Dustin Montgomery? Oh, Tyler Justice pounds the wall down. 2 laps to go. 0.4 the gap.
And kills momentum coming down to your turn 1. That is not what you want out of the Tyler Justice camp. Montgomery now 0.3 behind Justice as we have a lap and a half to go here, Emerson.
A 1/4 second of a gap as they head down into turns 3 and 4. Dustin Montgomery's going to get here, and he's going to have a lap to try to find a way around the 6 machine. Catching is one thing, but is passing another. They're going to be side by side, and Justice pounds the wall again. Montgomery takes the lead. 1 lap to go here from the Music City, and Dustin Montgomery is trying to find the youth. It has been nearly 4 months since Dustin Montgomery has gone to victory lane here in the Speed Racing Network Z Grills Series. But now, into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. When he needed it most, came into today's race below the cut line. For the 5th time this season, Dustin Montgomery is going to win here in the Music City, and he has clinched a spot in Homestead. Chaos across the stripe. Driver's running out of fuel. Cortez gets by Robertson. Robertson's out. Cortez, he's going to get 6th. Truitt, he gets 7th. Robertson crawling across the stripe. Robertson is 8th. Chaos behind is just the Schumacher 2nd, 3rd. Kalal Service 4th and 5th. Oh my goodness.
I mean, what is happening, Emerson?
What is going on?
I can't help but laugh. I mean, it has been just utter chaos here in the Music City.
What we do know for sure is Tyler Justice and Dustin Montgomery are going to Homestead with a chance to win $500. Dustin Montgomery doing burnouts on the front straightaway, deservingly so. Dominated today and then chased down his teammate and passed him with 1 lap to go and does the little donut, and that's it. That's all we get. Oh my god. He might have been out of fuel. He only took a splash.
Yeah, it was definitely quick. I mean, it's just honestly, I think Dustin has the right idea. It's a fitting end. He wants to get out of here just like everybody else. I mean, it was just what is going on kind of night. And so I think he told the boys to start the truck early because it is I'm not sure what kind of bad juju's going on around here in the Music City, but it's been chaos. That's for sure.
That is for sure. I don't know what to make of this race, Dustin. Pure chaos. You dominated today, but found yourself on the back foot in strategy. Had to pit for a splash of fuel, chase down your teammate, pass him with 1 lap to go. All the while you're dodging cars running out of fuel, lap cars, and cars lagging out of the lobby. Dustin, it has been almost 4 months since, but you get your 5th victory on the season at a time when it matters most. Dustin Montgomery, you're going to Homestead.
Yeah, wild race. We thought we just put down fast laps and whatever happened, and it worked out for us.
Boy, I'll say, my goodness. Where do we start? The strategy call. What did you do on that last pit stop?
Yeah, so I didn't think there was going to be another pit stop. I was halfway through the last to final run, and I looked down. I'm like, I'm short, and then I realized, people were slowing down and saving fuel, and the only thing I could do was take enough fuel to get to the end, and it was going to require enough time that I could put on 2 tires. So I put on 2 tires, and we'll see what happens.
You did bolt on 2 tires. That would explain a little bit why you were very, very loose coming off the pit lane. We were wondering, that song there, was that really the temperature difference? But, it didn't occur to me that you could have taken the 2 tires. There you go. So the 2 tire call there. And then, yeah, I mean, you see the large deficit. Once you came off the pit lane, you got settled into the 2 tires. Did you think you had enough time to get it done?
I didn't really know. I was watching Tyler's lap times and comparing them to mine, and at the beginning of the run, I was for sure going to get him. But as my car fell off, it just kept getting closer and closer. And as you saw, I came down to the last lap there. But yeah, Tyler almost pulled that one out too, huh?
Oh my goodness, man! Absolute chaos. That's, I think, the fitting way to go about it. I don't really know what other way to go about it, Dustin, but you get it done tonight here in the Music City. And now, in 2 weeks' time, you have a chance to walk out of Homestead with $500. Dustin, how does that feel? How do you go about the preparation?
I think we got to stick with what works and just put down fast laps. I love Homestead. A big reason a lot of us guys run this big car is because it's slowed down for us and still got some horsepower. And Homestead really puts on a good show with a car like that. So I think we'll have a lot of fun and just race for the win.
Well, Dustin Montgomery, you break the stretch of Tyler Justice domination here. Been a minute since we talked to you as a race winner, but glad to talk to you once again at the top step of the podium. You have one more time to go out there and get it done. Next time out at Homestead. Best luck to you in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks, guys.
That was driver of the number 12, Dustin Montgomery, and Reese. Two sides to every story. You're going to talk to the dominant force in the playoffs that has been the 6 car, Tyler Justice.
Yeah, Emerson, Tyler Justice winning 5 of the last 6 races before here tonight at Nashville, and leading with only, with what was a lap and a half to go, and Montgomery on those fresh 2 right side tires got past you, Tyler. But Tyler, what a great, crazy chaotic race. Fortunately for you, already locked in the playoffs, so don't have to worry about any implications with all the lag outs and all the stuff going on. But just talk us through the race tonight. Just talk us through like that first stage when you guys kind of laid back and went forward, and how you kind of used that kind of pictured for the rest of the race.
Yeah, it was a fun race overall. I that first run there, just trying to manage the tires and see what I could do on the long run. I really wasn't comfortable, building the balance of the car throughout the run. It just felt tight, and so I was trying to figure that out. I got a little bit better at it in that first stage, and in that second stage, I saved a little bit too much up front, but luckily I was able to get back up there to second. But Dustin was long gone by that point, and I knew when we had went back green after the stage, it was like 102 laps to go, and I knew we were getting like 50 laps on fuel, if that. So I knew it was gonna be close. I pitted, came back out, like 52, 53 to go, and I was clutching it, going in every corner and just letting it roll through the corner the best I could, and I started sputtering when I crossed the start finish line. So timed it perfect, just couldn't stay out in front of Dustin. He pitted at the right moment and was able to get around of us. I was hoping I could finally get a fuel mileage win. I've kind of messed those up past few times, but glad for Dustin. Glad he's locked in the playoffs. I hate Sean had the issues he had. I know a few people were having server issues, and not particularly their fault either, just circumstances. So I don't know. That was a fun race. Glad to get 2 of us into the championship race at least, and hopefully one of us can go get it next or 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, it's a tough break for Sean. A lot of guys, it's just out of honestly everybody's control with connectivity issues, and we saw at the start of the race that, and which me and Emerson were hoping would be the only time, when the race before you even started would be the only issues. But of course, what was it? I think it was lap 80 or so, more issues for others. But yeah, Tyler, I mean, you've been dominant this whole playoff stretch. Another, P2 finish here tonight. I mean, nothing but podiums. I mean, through the whole playoffs here so far in SRN, and so going to Homestead 2 weeks. What's the strategy looking like? You got any kind of plans to try to seal the deal here at Homestead?
The plan is probably just to put in laps. I know we won't get access to the setup until the day before, but I'm gonna be putting laps on with something I feel like it's gonna be similar to the race setup and on the right fuel and everything throughout the week, throughout 2 weeks, I guess, because we got an off week. But yeah, just practice and I don't know. Dustin seems to be good on the mile and a half, especially if the setup's kind of on the tighter side. I'd do better if it started to build loose on the long run. So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully we get something a little free to drive, and I think we'll be good. And Dustin will be good as well. So it should be a fun race. Looking forward to it. Homestead's one of my favorite tracks, so it should be a good one, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler, it's been an honor calling you through the playoffs, and we can't wait to see you in 2 weeks at Homestead. But before I let you go, anyone you want to shout out or thank here tonight?
Yeah, give a shout out to all my teammates at Phase 2 Chassis Works. Like I said, glad to get 2 of us in championship race. Hate Sean had his issues, and Scotty there just fell out. But yeah, just thank everybody else in the league. Thank you guys for broadcasting, and let's go to Homestead.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. That is Tyler Justice, your P2 finisher here at Nashville tonight.
Absolutely.
And,
As that is the driver of the number 6, our second place finisher tonight, driver of the number 6, Tyler Justice. We will have the opportunity to talk to third place finisher Adrian Schumacher. Jonathan Byer did confirm we will get a points standings tonight. So while we wait for that, we will talk to our third place finisher tonight, driver of that number 0 machine, Adrian Schumacher. And Adrian, man, a great race for you tonight. We will see how the points work out. It was looking pretty gloomy coming into today's race. Obviously, a must-win situation, but with all the chaos and the lag outs and the great race for you, I don't know. I wouldn't count it out. I know it definitely was a must-win scenario, and you brought the heat tonight, Adrian. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, that definitely had speed. Just didn't have it the last 2 weeks. I could have really used it, but yeah, that definitely ran a good race. Yeah, got into a field saving battle, and yeah, we got a podium out of it. But then again, we had a must win, so we fell a little bit short.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a tough pill to swallow, Adrian. But you did as much as you could have done in a very stacked field, might I add. You still brought the heat, even on these ovals, when other people would maybe turn the other way when it comes to Adrian Schumacher here. If this is indeed the end of the road for your season, Adrian, what can you leave this season? I guess on a positive note. How can you put a bow tie on the 19 races to this point?
I'll just run as hard as I can at Homestead. I'm don't think I'll be able to do full time next season, but we'll do that last race. We're gonna give it our all. Try to end it as good as possible.
There you go. And even if you don't make it into the championship 5, Adrian, you can still leave at a Homestead with a chance at $60 for finishing 6th in the standings, and you can of course go for the win. An extra $30. You can still leave out of nearly $100 in your pocket, man. So still a lot to race for next time out. But Adrian,
so we gotta play that tax game.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. But Adrian, it was a great race ran from you today. Really pace. I had no idea you were gonna bring today, and it looked good out there, that zero machine, man.
Thank you.
Well, Adrian, congratulations then on the 3rd place finish tonight. Best luck to you in 2 weeks' time at Homestead, brother, and we will see you then.
All right, see you guys. Thanks for broadcasting.
Absolutely. And that was driver of the number 0, our 3rd place finisher this evening, Adrian Schumacher. And Reese, let's try to make some sense of these race results. I don't know if we're gonna be able to, but we're gonna try. Your race results are gonna be up on your screen as we speak, folks. So here we go. Let's try to piece it together. Our race winner tonight, Dustin Montgomery. That is a given. Him and Tyler Justice, those are the 2 confirmations we have going to Homestead Race. 3rd place, Adrian Schumacher. The math doesn't look great in his favor. There's a lot of chaos, you never know. But Adrian Schumacher, he gave it his all. It probably was a must-win scenario for the 82 machine, for the 0 machine of Adrian Schumacher. He'll come home 3rd, a couple spots shy of that. Scott Kalal with a great finish for himself. I know he's not a playoff driver anymore, but man, Scott Kalal bringing the heat here late in the season race. He'll get a 4th place finish for himself. And Max Service, coming into today's race with a lot of pressure, the one driver 1 point above the cut line, a lot of fast guys hot on his tail, and he showed out tonight. He should be in with the laps led and the great run in stage 1 and everything. Max Service performed well tonight. It'll be Vincent Cortez trying to play a little playoff spoiler there, finishing 6th, and Logan Truitt finishing in the 7th position. I don't know how the map's going to work out for Logan, but he certainly gave it his all as well. And these points are going to be really tight. But Reese, 8th to the end.
Yeah, P8, we got David Robinson. P9, got Jonathan Byer. P10, Seth Berger. Gonna be curious on him too. Being 8 above the cut line, but didn't get points at the stage. So, gonna be really close for him. Scotty Runshield, one of those unfortunate victims to the iRacing servers in P11. Sean Powell, another victim, P12. Gabrielson, also a guy that had a big cushion, should be okay, I would like to think, but only getting 2 stage points now. P13 gonna be close for him as well. Another victim to the internet issues. The same with Nathan Del Rezo, who is 14th, and that is all 14 drivers here tonight, Emerson.
Absolutely. And so we were promised points, Reese, and we got them. It is time
Oh,
to
boy.
see who has advanced into the next round, the championship round of the playoffs, and the points are going to be up on your screen. And here we go. There it is. You know, we have Tyler Justice and Dustin Montgomery with their wins in. Max Service becomes the highest driver to make it in on points. Gabriel Ellison will fall to fourth, but still in. And David Robertson, the last of those drivers in. Seth Berger, man, tries. He might, you know, if it wasn't for that penalty, who knows what would have happened for Seth Berger.
Yeah.
He'll come home, you know, sixth, or at best sixth in the points. He'll be 3 points outside the cut line. Truitt also, man, great run from him before out. Powell, despite the lag out, right, only 6 points out. Ryan Shield and Schumacher, I mean, Reese, this is close. 15 points between 5th and 10th. You know, these guys, they really, you know, anyone could have had a chance tonight the way that the race went.
Yeah, I mean, we knew coming in. I mean, we talked about, right, it was, I think it was 4th through 9th. We're all within a certain point range of each other, and here we are, you know, I mean, entering the same way. I mean, just, it's a lot of tough break. I mean, you feel for guys like Sean Powell, who was really dominant and then had the connection issues. I mean, Ryan Scheld, I mean, Truitt gave us all, then Berger had that penalty. I mean, just a lot of tough break, but, you know, for as much as the guys didn't make it, I mean, the names that made it in, I mean, Tyler Justin Montgomery, we've seen them all season, but Max Service, you know, he's had that one win early in the season, stayed consistent. Here he is now making the championship. Same with Ellison and Robertson. So definitely a tough break for a lot of guys that made it out. But the final five, Emerson, definitely some really, really good names.
Yeah, this is certainly going to be a very competitive championship 5 for those guys. They did win races on the season. David Robertson, he's been oh so fast week in and week out. Robertson came so close to winning at Michigan, and maybe that would have been his lock into the championship 5, but no matter, he made it in on points, 3 to the good. So Tyler Justice, Dustin Montgomery, Max Service, Gabriel Ellison, and David Robertson will be competing for a championship in 2 weeks' time at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. And so what a great run tonight from all of them to make it in. And we did, you know, mention we had a cup schedule drop. We did show it earlier in the broadcast when we had some technical difficulties and we had a moment to, you know, go over the cup schedule. We're going to show it again in case you weren't with us earlier in the show. And so here is next season's Cup Series schedule, and there it is up on your screen. And you know, we already talked about it once, Reese, but once again, you know, what do you make of the schedule? You know, the different playoff format, only 5 races for the playoffs. Kansas, the cut race. Nashville, the championship finale. Some great gauntlet of races in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier, Emerson, you know, reducing the races from 20 to 18, and we still have that duel, so kind of a 19th, but I really just counted 18. But yeah, the playoff reduction definitely going to make, I mean, with one less race in both the first and the second round, it's nothing. It's obviously just going to heighten everything. So those last 5 races are going to be extremely crucial, extremely vital. So I like the schedule. Definitely going to be interesting to see the next year's playoffs and how they shake out. So.
Absolutely. And one thing to note is today registration is open for the next Speed Racing Network season. And so if you've been here for the schedule drops, the truck schedule on Tuesday night, the Xfinity schedule last night, and the Cup schedule tonight, and you are interested in joining the Speed Racing Network and you are not already here, or you are here and you want to reserve your slot for next season, registration is now open for the 6th Speed Racing Network season. And so you can access that registration link in the Speed Racing Network general server. It is all out there for you. All you have to do is join the Speed Racing Network Discord. And if you're already in it, you'll already know what I'm talking about. If you're not in it, you can head to speedracingnetwork.com and join the Discord there on the homepage. From there, you can find a channel titled under League Info, Rulebook, and Registration Info, where Jonathan Byer has graciously posted the new website, the rulebook for the 6th season, and the new registration link. And so, again, it'll kick off in the 3rd week of January. So registration is open for the 6th Speed Racing Network season. And while we are at it, there is currently a sale on speedracingnetwork.com. Get your SRN merch. There's a sale going on through December 3rd. Oops, a little bit smaller of a graphic than I was anticipating, but there it is up on your screen. All these products are available, at speedracingnetwork.com/shop. You can get stickers, hoodies, shirts, hats, mugs, bags. I mean, you can even get a bear. I mean, come on, man. 15% off of everything and free shipping through December 3rd at the Speed Racing Network shop at speedracingnetwork.com/shop. And so, I think we've done all the work there. We'll get back to the sim, where chaos is still simmering down tonight, Reese. Boy, oh boy, how do you put a bow tie on tonight?
It definitely. I don't think the word like it didn't disappoint. It's definitely not the way to describe it. It was just, it was one of a kind. That is definitely the one way I would say it. I mean, coming in, we had all these cut line, drivers in the bubble, really close, and then had a connection issue, but got the racing going, and then really good first stage, and racing was really good. And all of a sudden, another fallout, and then all of a sudden we got fuel strategy situation and a pass for the win on basically the white flag. I mean, it was one of a kind is the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, we had everything, and nobody wrecked tonight. We had a spinner in Jonathan Byer. That's unfortunate. And I hate to throw JB under the bus. That rejoin was a little questionable, but albeit nobody got hurt. We're all fine. But wow, this is just a wild race with no crashes, no cautions this evening, other than the stage caution. I mean, chaos before the start, a wild stage 1. Well, we thought we were going to settle into a normal stage 2, and right around pit stops, everything just hit the fan. Lag outs and pit stops and fuel strategy galore, with a last lap pass and a wild championship 5. I think you have no choice but to tune in 2 weeks time for the Speed Racing Network Z Grill Series Season 5 finale at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. But before we go off the air this evening, we do have to pay the bills and, give a shout out to all of our partners here at Speed Racing Network. Once again, a huge shout out to all of our series partners, Fiverr, Glitch, and Z Grills, for all of their hard work on each of the respective nights. And of course, Z Grills for their hard work on the Speed Racing Network Z Grills series. It has been a pleasure to broadcast this series for them. We still have one more race in 2 weeks time out at Homestead Miami Speedway, and that will be a blast as well. Admin Box has been on your screen all evening long. Of course, Admin Box was with our starting grid presentation as well, and make sure you use code SRN-box, that's BOXX, for 10% off of your Admin Box purchases this evening. Butt Kicker is, of course, our commercial partner here at Speed Racing Network, and while we didn't really hear from him during the race, we did hear a message from him earlier in the show. We'll hear him one more time before we go off the air. Butt Kicker, of course, our commercial partner here at Speed Racing Network. A huge shout out to Butt Kicker for all that they do for us here at SRN. We could not do it without them. EPI, of course, with our Victory Lane presentation and Slip Lines for the incident replays. Not a whole lot of them this evening, but a whole lot of chaos. And we do appreciate all the work Slip Lines does on the weekly here for Speed Racing Network. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you scroll down, hit that like and subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. All the support here at Speed Racing Network has helped us reach our subscription goal. We would greatly appreciate it as we strive to do better things here at Speed Racing Network. While you're down there, you might see this bright blue join button that says join. Well, you might be wondering, well, join what, right? For $4.99 a month, you can get access to the Speed Racing Network Premium Membership Program. For $4.99 a month, you can get access to loyalty badges, custom emojis, exclusive wallpapers and photos, early access to new content, member shoutouts, members-only live chats, and priority reply to comments. To join today, click that blue join button next to the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. While you're at it, I'm sure you're going to be wanting to keep glued to our social media outlets this evening for all news, highlights, and points, and all that jazz. They'll be waiting for you at our social media outlets, our Facebook page at facebook.com/Speed Racing Network, our X page at Speed Racing Net, our Instagram at Speed Racing Network, our YouTube at youtube.com/Speed Racing Network, our Twitch at twitch.tv/Speed Racing Net, our LinkedIn at linkedin.com/company/Speed Racing Network, and of course the website where you can keep up with everything SRN, including schedules, points, news, registration now, our Discord link, Season 6 info, the rulebook, and all that jazz is waiting for you at speedracingnetwork.com. And once again, head to speedracingnetwork.com if you wish to be a Speed Racing Network Season 6 driver. Head to the website, join the Discord, hit that registration link down in the rulebook and registration info tab of the Discord, and get signed up for the 6th season of Speed Racing Network. Spots go fast. Want to make sure you get yours secured tonight. And so, Reese, that'll do it for us here from the Music City. Any final thoughts before we close tonight out and take a couple weeks off, and head back to Homestead Miami Speedway, where champions will be crowned and seasons will be won and lost?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I said, we talked about what a wild race. For on the Homestead though, I mean, it's pretty amazing. I think I've been here in SRN now for this my 4th season. So time has been just flying. I mean, to crown a champion for season 5 here, and then moving on to season 6. I mean, time is going way too fast, Emerson. Time is going way too fast. I can't wait to go to Homestead next week, or 2 weeks from time, after the iRacing update week. Like we talked about earlier, Homestead, one of the most unique tracks on the schedule. And in Montgomery, we heard Montgomery and Justin talk about it. I mean, it's just a driver's track, and I think everyone, fan, driver, and even us commentators, we're all looking forward to Homestead.
Absolutely. It's going to be a wild one then in a couple weeks' time then at Homestead Miami Speedway. Well, then, that'll do it from the Music City. Thank you all so much for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. For all at Speed Racing Network, I am Emerson Arden. I had Reese Schaefer alongside myself in the virtual booth this evening. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time for Championship Week. 2 weeks, Homestead Miami Speedway.